We haven't had a blog in a little while, so I wanted to give you guys an update, especially on what's going on here in central Nebraska, because we haven't had any hunts from there. The hunting here in central Nebraska has been extremely slow. All we've seen is does on our hunts, so we debated whether to show those hunts as blogs or not, with not too much going on, or just to kind of give an update and kind of round out the last 5 or 6 hunts. So that's what I'm going to do now. Dad and I have been hunting here in central Nebraska a lot. We were hunting a new area of that central or southern public land unit, and we actually went in and scouted this property probably early to mid-August, right before the season started, just to try to find some new areas, see if there's anything going on in this little chunk of public land off to the side that we've never been on before. Went in there and we've actually bumped 2 bucks out of there, so we figured, hey, this might be some buck bedding. So we've hunted in there over the past 2 weekends and just didn't see a whole lot. I think I saw probably 6 does is all, and one really teeny tiny buck walking the edge of the corn, and then some does this last weekend. Dad is hunting in there. He either didn't see anything or just saw a couple does, so that spot just didn't really pan out for us. I also went in to a spot that's back in there a little bit farther where we've gotten some trail cam pictures set up in there, and only saw does in there as well. So our southern public land unit has been a little slow to start the season. It always seems like September just kicks our butts a little bit, and we never end up having too good a luck during September. Some changes have happened to this property that we've been hunting here, our southern public land unit. It seems like the pressure has really picked up, and there's a lot more hunters running around there, getting into different areas that maybe they weren't before. This is a puppy dog. This is Josie. This is Dad's new dog, and she's a terror. How you doing? How you doing? No, you gotta go play. Go play somewhere else. You can't be here. But while we've had slow hunts here in central Nebraska, Chance has been hunting out west. He's actually gone to a couple new properties, and you saw him scout the one property in our last video. He went in there and hunted, I think once or twice maybe, has a trail cam up in there just to let sit and monitor that area when you're not there and get an idea when the deer are moving through. He hunted it once and just seen a few does in there, but the sign is crazy in this place. There's scrapes going, a fresh scrape going, a bunch of rubs in there already, and it's mid-September, so a lot of action going on in there. I think that's going to be a really good spot for us. And what Chance has been seeing out west is that the deer are using that corn basically as woods. Obviously whitetails prefer wood lots more so than just that open habitat that mule deer do. And seems like they're going into that corn and bedding in that. That's what we saw that opening weekend when we were hunting there. That batch of group of bucks actually went into that corn to bed down. We went back there and hunted that night, and we actually had does come out of that corn as well. So it seems like the deer are using the corn as bedding areas. And the corn's still up in that area, and will probably be up in that area for at least another month. And we think the deer on this property that Chance scouted that you saw in the last video, we think they're using that corn too. So we're interested to see what's going to happen when that corn comes out and the crops change and the habitat that they have to bed in changes, where the only thing they have left to bed in is the open grass, the open country, the draws, and these little patches of trees. So we're interested to see what happens then, but there's a lot of sign in there, a lot of bucks in there, so it should be a good place to hunt, especially as we get farther into the season. The next thing I want to touch on is our tree saddle setup, what we'll be using this fall. We used Arrow Hunter tree saddles last year. We'll be using those again. We're currently using the Kestrel Flex, but Arrow Hunter, if you've followed their social media, has some new saddles coming out this year. We hope to be able to use those throughout the season too as we get going, but there's a promo code in the description below. You can use that to save 10% if you want to try out a saddle this year. I recommend Arrow Hunter, and I'll get into more of the details here in just a little bit, but if you want to check out Arrow Hunter, use that promo code, follow the link, and you can check out their saddles. Like I mentioned, they got some new stuff, some cool stuff coming out this year that you can try as well. But like I mentioned, the Kestrel Flex is a saddle that we're going to be using this fall again. It's a great saddle. It's worked well for us, and we're going to walk through our setup and the things we bring with us when we're hunting with our saddles. For us, the most important thing with using our saddles and why we like to use them is because you don't have to haul as much, and that's kind of some of the give and take that we have. We have extra camera gear that we're taking, so that adds a little bit to our setup. But the main thing, we don't use a platform, we just have sticks, and I'll touch on the sticks here in a little bit, but we don't have a platform. We choose not to use the platform. I'd recommend it if you want to get the most out of your saddle. We use screw-in steps, which is legal here in Nebraska to be able to use. So I'm using actually Novix tree stand steps this year. They're lighter weight, just 2 steps on them. I use those to get up the tree, and then at the top I put 2 screw-in steps in, kind of use that as my platform. But really, not using the platform is just kind of a personal preference. We choose to do it just so we can be lighter with all that extra camera gear. There's adaptations you can get for the top of your sticks as well that'll help you kind of eliminate the weight of a full platform. So that's just a personal preference. Do what you want. If you want to save some money right away, just test out the saddle. You don't necessarily have to have that platform. We choose not to. And I kind of mentioned the sticks earlier. They're Novix tree stand steps. I think they're like 1.5 pounds, just 2 steps. I wanted to get something that was shorter that could fit in my pack so I could easily sneak through the woods without having a bunch of extra stuff. The one thing I don't like about the sticks though is they're a little loud. Any ways to silence these would be good, but I like the sticks. They're light, super lightweight, a lot lighter than the ones we were using before, and they're quieter, easier to haul up and down the tree. Again, it's just something that we continue to try to get lighter and lighter with our setups, and we just keep trying to eliminate that weight, and getting shorter sticks and lighter sticks is one way to do that. As far as setup goes for getting up in the tree, what I do when I'm up there with our camera stuff, I like to put the camera for you guys that film at about waist level. That keeps it down and out of my way, because once you get up there, if you put the camera like you would if you're in a tree stand, when you stand up in a tree stand, you can shoot above it. I'm right-handed, and I found that it's easier to put that camera on the left side of the tree, that it's easier to film that way. If you have to reach through, you can film easier that way. You're not trying to like pull that camera around over your tether and stuff like that. And when you're trying to get there fast and self-film, it's easier just to put that camera on the left side. So anybody that films, that's kind of a quick tip for filming. Keep it waist level and keep it on the left side if you're right-handed. And as far as bow placement goes, I usually put that on my left side as well, so I can reach out with my left hand, grab that bow, and it's already in my hand. And so the bow will be out of the way for any filming that I'm going to do, because it's going to be in my hand. So we've got the camera on the left side, we've got the bow higher and on the left side, and then I'll put my backpack kind of low and out of the way on the right side. So that's kind of the setup when I'm in the tree with all my stuff up there. That's kind of where I'm putting it and where I found kind of works best. Obviously this will be opposite if you're left-handed. I'm right-handed, so camera and bow on the left side, backpack out of the way on the right. And I mentioned earlier that I don't have a platform, so looking for your shot angles and where you're going to shoot and where you think those deer are coming from is a little bit more important when you don't have that platform. For me, a right-handed shooter, that left side is going to be my strong side. So when I'm going in, finding a tree in the morning in the dark, to put my saddle in, I want to pay attention to where I think the deer are going to come from and kind of put that to my strong side. So paying attention to your shooting lanes and where they're going to be is always important with your saddle. Always making sure that, you know, those important trails, the ones that you think the deer are going to be coming in on, are on your strong side. And again, right-handed shooter, strong side is going to be on the left side. And it's even more important if you don't have a platform, because your mobility with that saddle is a little bit limited. You can still cover a lot of ground, just not quite as much as you can with a platform. We used saddles all last season, and the big thing I think to tell people about using a saddle if you're wanting to try it is that it does take some getting used to. Just being up in the tree in a saddle and not on this steady platform takes some getting used to. I think the biggest thing is just trusting it, trusting the system, trusting that it works. And like I said, just take some getting used to. Get up in the yard, practice a little bit, get comfortable with it, because it is a little awkward kind of hanging back off the tree instead of just standing up there on a tree stand. So give it some time if you have one. But the thing I like the most is just how lightweight they are. For a public land hunter that wants to stay mobile and go places where other hunters aren't, having the saddle in your arsenal is huge for that. That's all I got on our saddle setups this year. If you see anything here that you want to know more about or know more about our setup, drop it in the comments below. We'll either make a video about it, and we'll definitely answer your question in the comments below. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, hit the like button and subscribe. Check out Arrow Hunter. They got a bunch of new stuff, new saddles coming out this year that you can use this fall. Promo code, like I said, is in the description below. Thanks for watching.